Hey guys, Think the Hero of Time 550, and so today, welcome back to another episode of the Milk Podcast. This is episode number 8764. Welcome back. It's good to be back, as usual, every year. So, I decided for this year's Milk Podcast, we're going to do something a little bit fun. We're going to be speedrunning Ocarina of Time in a category I like to call Milk Percent. And what that means is we are going to try and get to a bottle of milk as quick as possible and drink the entire bottle. Not just a half, drink the entire bottle in as short of a time as possible. Now, there are quite a few mistakes in this run, I will say. However, I think I did pretty okay. Definitely submit your milk percent speed runs to, I don't know, speedrun.com or something. I don't know. Anyways, but that's not the entire point of this. The other part is that during these cutscenes, which there are many of, I'm going to be reading some milk facts off for you guys here. So, without any further ado, let's get started. So, evidence shows that Neolithic farmers in Britain and Northern Europe have been among the first to begin milking cattle for human consumption around 4000 BC. That's pretty old. Before modern refrigeration, people in Russia and Finland placed Russian brown frogs in buckets of milk to keep them fresh. According to research, amphibian skin secretions are packed with peptides and antimicrobial compounds as potent as salmonella and staphylococcus bacteria as prescription antibiotics. These are more history-oriented here, in case you couldn't tell. But moving on. In 18th century Europe, it was common folk knowledge that milkmaids, women who milked cows, seemed to be immune from smallpox plagues as they swept through Europe. In 1796, English physician Edward Jenner developed a vaccine for smallpox based on this folk knowledge. In New York in 1883, a struggle known as the Milk Wars broke out between milk farmers and milk distributors when milk farmers demanded higher prices and distribution companies refused to pay. The farmers organized spilling committees that blocked roads and seized shipments and dumped out their own milk instead of selling it to the distributors. Owned. Milk comes from 7 main breeds of dairy cows: Ayrshire, Brown Swiss, Guernsey, I'm sorry if I pronounce any of these wrong, Holstein, Jersey, and Milking Shorthorn. 7th, a red and white variation of the Holstein breed. A cow will produce an average of 6.3 gallons of milk each day, or 2,300 gallons each year. Alright, I think I have time for one more fact here. There are approximately 340 to 350 udder squirts in a gallon of milk. So just think about that next time you're drinking your daily gallon of milk. That udder was squeezed about 340 to 350 times. Alright, so onto the speedrun here. So as usual, the beginning is going to look pretty normal if you're familiar with Ocarina of Time speedruns. If not, basically what we have to do is get the sword and get 40 rupees so that we can save up to buy a shield. So, here we go. Now I would like to say, I believe I have mentioned this in the last Milk Podcast, but unfortunately I found out that I am lactose intolerant. However, that does not stop me from enjoying my delicious dairy and lactose goods. I do have lactate as well, but sometimes I forget to use it, and then I am in a lot of pain later. But it is totally worth it because I love me some dairy, hence the Milk Podcast. Anyways, so here we are, failing a few little movement things here in the beginning. And just like that, we have now gotten ourselves the sword. Honestly, I didn't even know this last text box showed up for the longest time. I only found out about it because of a text editing tool for Ocarina of Time, and I was like, what the heck? Is that like unused dialogue? And then I found out that it was used. I just never read it. So, anywho, more movement fails here. And now it goes on to the rupee collecting phase. Now, I messed up big time in one of these upcoming parts, so definitely watch to see me fail. It's not here, but I believe it's the next rupee that I go for after this, I want to say. So the beginning of this run was a little bit rough, but towards the end I got a little bit better. And I will say I am doing this on an emulator, so if there's any like extra lag or whatever, that is why. I'm using the latest version of Project 64. So here's the big fail. So there's a trick you can do here to jump slash. I've done it many times in older videos and live streams of mine. You can jump slash to get up on this bridge early. However, I'm gonna blame it being on emulator, definitely not a skill issue, definitely not. Yeah, I just could not get it for the life of me here. That time I believe I should have gotten it, but I don't know why I didn't. But anywho, eventually, after enough times of failing, should be coming up any minute now. Any second now. There we go. So I kind of just decided, you know, screw it. I'm not getting this. I'll just go the normal way. And so I just kind of did this the normal way. Now I could have done the fall off the ledge while talking to her glitch, but this is a speedrun after all, and even though it might not look like it, I am trying to go somewhat quick. So now we have 35. You may have remembered that I said that we needed 40. There's actually 5 more right behind this corner here. You're going to see me completely not get it, and then get it. There we go. Like I said, a lot of movement failures at the beginning, but here we go. Now we have our sword and shield, which is everything that we're going to need from Kokiri Forest. So now it is time to escape the forest. So one thing I will say also is that later in the run I need 10 rupees, which I forgot about and just about had enough, but I had to go back a little bit. So slight spoiler warning for you guys, I did have to go back for some rupees, which did not exactly look good on my part. Now I'm not particularly great at this glitch, but you're not supposed to be able to leave the forest until you beat the first dungeon. However, if you do a crouch stab here while looking at a specific angle, and then talking to that guy at the right time, you will clip through him, and it will allow you to leave the forest early. So, I believe I got this one pretty quick. I think it's this attempt I got it. This trick isn't like super hard, it's just I'm not used to doing it. I don't do this way a whole lot. But there we go. I got it. And now, simply because I do not like this guy, we are going to simply murder him. So everybody say bye-bye to this guy. Everybody type in chat, bye-bye. There he goes. Alright, boom. Out of the forest. Now it is important that we leave the forest that way and not the usual way that I would go through Zora's Domain, or the Zora's Domain shortcut, simply because this way actually gets me the ocarina, which I will need later. In my last speedrun attempt, I simply just got a bottle and was going to do ocarina items from in front of a cow to get it, but then I realized that I don't believe there are any outside cows in Lon Lon, so I would have had to do it indoors, which you can't use most items indoors. So I had to cut that run short, realizing that I did a bit of a goof there. I messed up a little there, but it's whatever. We just ended up getting the ocarina this way after all, and yeah. I would argue that this run was better than the last one, though. I know it's hard to believe with all the failures so far, but I mean, like I said, in my defense, I am playing on emulator. Definitely not a skill issue for sure, totally, definitely not. Blame the emulator, that's my motto here. Now I'm going to read off a milk fact or two really quick while we wait. Cows that are milking eat 100 pounds of feed and drink between 30 and 50 gallons of water every day. Cows get a 2-month vacation for milking every year. They are workers too. They do need their vacation. It's good that they get at least 2 weeks. Farmers actually measure milk in pounds, not gallons, like most people would think. And I have time for one more here. The greatest amount of milk produced in 1 year was 59,298 pounds by a Holstein cow named Robtham Sioux Patty. So, pretty impressive amount of milk. I drink that in about a week. But, yeah, so. Anywho. Continuing on with the milk speed run. That is one of the downsides of going this way, is that we do need to talk to him. I know there is a glitch or something to skip him, but I'm not super familiar with it, and I just did not have the time to practice for it, so I do apologize that I did not do that little skip there. We had to deal with the owl, but this is the other thing is, along this whole speedrun, you're going to see me walking backwards a lot. For those who don't know, it is one of the fastest forms of movement without using any kind of special items or anything. It's one of the fastest forms of movement that you can do with just simply Link himself, no items or anything. And that lets us get into the castle before nighttime, which is important because there's a chicken that needs to hatch, and it is a lot more time efficient if you get here before nighttime, because when nighttime comes and the drawbridge closes up, and then we're not allowed to get in here until morning. And there's also a chicken that we need to hatch, and it will hatch in the morning. No matter what time of day you get the egg, as long as you get it before morning, it will always hatch in the morning. So even if you got it like a minute ago, it will still hatch as soon as it hits the morning time there. Now I messed up a little there, dialogue, whatever. But yeah, so you can get the egg at any time, just as long as you're in Castletown before morning and you get the egg before morning, then you're all good. So, we simply have to leave and come back. I don't know why it's programmed like that. I don't know who made that. I think it's kind of stupid. It's very unintuitive, I'd say. But either way, now this girl is in here. So we talk to her. She tells us, oh, your clothes are different. You're not from around here. And she's like, I don't know where my dad is. He was out delivering milk. I don't know where my man is. And then you say, okay, yeah, I'm going to the castle. I'll wake your dad up for you and give him this lovely little chicken. So that's what we're going to go do. We're going to give her dad the chicken. And by that, I mean startle the absolute crap out of him with this chicken. But as for now, it is just an egg, so we must wait till morning for it to hatch. So these vines are always oddly specific. I kind of happen to get a little bit lucky there, because usually if you just go right in the middle of them, you're fine. But as a kid, I would always find myself climbing up the wrong parts of that and falling down immediately, because those are very finicky vines. I don't know why they made them so difficult at the very beginning of the game, but whatever. Anyways, so now we have to stealth past all these guards here and climb up this little rock wall. And I am kind of wondering, like, how did new people, like, figure this out? I mean, I guess that's not that hard to find out, but I feel like if it was, like, me playing this game for the very first time now, it would have taken me an embarrassingly long amount of time to realize I had to climb up that wall. I feel like. So, thankfully I've been playing this game since I've been a wee baby, so I know what to do. But yes. So now, simply, we just gotta move these crates, just so, because we're gonna have to kill time no matter what here till morning, but it helps speed it up a little if we move these crates now, because then there's less pushing to do later, which wastes more time. Like I said, we have to waste time anyways right now, so why not push him into place? We can't quite push him fully into place because he's in the way, but once we show him this lovely chicken, then all will be well. So here we go. I'm choosing to equip the ocarina right now and the chicken, just because that way we won't have to pause later and equip those. because the chicken I had to equip anyways. So, you know, why not? Why not? Now this guy, funnily enough, is actually the ranch owner of where we're going to be getting the milk. And he's also the guy who's going to be giving us the milk. So, we're just kind of interacting with him at a bad time right now. He's got to make it back home so that his daughter doesn't get mad at him, which she probably is, because he fell asleep. Anyways, so there's a little bit of a speed strat that I'm going to do here. You're supposed to push down both of those crates, but if you push that one half off of the ledge and do a jump slash at the right time, then you only use one of the crates there. I'm also going to be doing a little bit of speed strat once we get in here. There's this whole guard stealth section that you're supposed to do, and if you're quick enough, you can do a bunch of side hops here. And usually I don't push my luck with this last guy here just because this is where everybody gets caught, so I've learned I usually don't push it with this guy. I can usually make it pretty fine up until here, it's just don't push it. So here we go, and now we are in the final part here. And so now we are just going to quickly backwalk. And just like that, we are here on our way to visit Zelda. Now, if I would have got caught there, I probably would have just restarted the run because it was pretty bad up until now, but yeah, so now we are on to our next batch of cutscenes. So, you know what that means. More lovely milk facts, okay? So, a cow is more valuable for its milk, cheese, butter, and yogurt than for its beef. So, you might not think so, but because of the renewability of the cheese, butter, yogurt, and milk, beef can only be obtained from it once, and that's it. You can only get so much beef from a cow, but in theory, until the cow dies, you can get infinite milk, cheese, butter, and yogurt, so definitely those are more important. Despite its creamy texture, milk is actually 85 to 95% water. The rest of the volume contains vitamins, proteins, carbohydrates, and fat. Now, you might hear fat and think that's a bad thing, but believe it or not, actually, fat isn't actually that bad for you. It can be quite beneficial for you. It's just, due to marketing campaigns and ads over the years, they make you think that fat is the bad thing, when in reality it's more salt and sugars that are the issue. That's not so much a milk fact, but just a fun little fact I learned that I wanted to share with you guys. Anyways, to absorb the same amount of calcium as you get from 1 cup of milk, you'd have to eat either 10 cups of raw spinach, 6 servings of pinto beans, or 3 cups of cooked broccoli in one sitting. So if you don't like drinking milk, think about you'd have to eat 10 cups of spinach, 6 servings of pinto beans, or 3 cups of broccoli instead. So maybe milk ain't so bad, you know? Drinking milk can protect your smile too, since it reduces the level of acidity in the mouth, combats plaque formation, and reduces the risk of cavities. 1 8-ounce glass of milk provides 8 grams of protein. Milk is considered a complete protein, which provides the mix of amino acids. In 1 cup of milk, you get the following recommended daily amounts of vital vitamins. You get 28% calcium, 24% vitamin D, 26% vitamin B2 or riboflavin, 18% vitamin B12, 10% potassium, 22% phosphorus, and 13% selenium. Organic grass-fed cow's milk contains higher amount of beneficial antioxidants such as vitamin E and beta-carotene, which can help reduce inflammation and fight oxidative stress. A study including over 18,000 middle-aged elderly women showed that eating more high-fat dairy products was associated with less weight gain and a lower risk of obesity. Like I said earlier, just because something says fat doesn't mean that it'll make you fat. It's just marketing that makes you believe that. After the U.S. entered World War II, the Department of Agriculture released a pamphlet promoting the milk program in 1942. It referred to milk as a victory food and stated that it hoped to reduce malnutrition and hidden hunger amongst American school children through the program. In 1954, Congress authorized the Special Milk Program, which contributed, along with the growth in school lunches, to a tenfold increase in school milk consumption between 1946 and 1969. The Special Milk Program is now permanently authorized under the Child Nutrition Act of 1966. So, basically, schools have to serve milk according to the law since 1966. So, shout out to that for giving our kids what they need, giving them all the nutrients that they need as well. In 2011, over 66 million half pints of milk were served through the Special Milk Program. The expansion of both the nutritional school lunch and school breakfast programs, which include milk, has led to a substantial reduction in the Special Milk Program since its peak in the late 1960s. The program has served nearly 3 billion half pints of milk in 1969, 1.8 billion in 1980, and 181 million in 1990. Now here's a fact for people like me who are lactose intolerant. Lactose intolerance affects 65% of the world's population. Now, believe it or not, people who aren't lactose intolerant are technically, I don't know how to put this, but this is something I learned in my chemistry class that I thought was really cool. You are actually, I don't know how to put this, but I guess you have a mutated gene, because normally when you're a baby, you need milk, obviously. But there's a point where that gene is supposed to turn off, and then you become lactose intolerant at a certain point. And so that's why most of the world's 65% of the world's population is lactose intolerant, simply because that gene is supposed to turn off, but some people, due to mutations and stuff, simply never have it turn off, and are lucky because they get to enjoy milk without any kind of downsides. Anywho, back to the gameplay now that all those cutscenes are over. The speedrun is almost done here. Like I said, most of the speedrun has honestly just been cutscenes. So here we go. This is our last pit stop. We are going to Lon Lon Ranch. And this is where we're going to be getting the milk. Now, my original plan for the speedrun was that I was going to get a Pona song and then get the bottle from Kakariko. And then while that cutscene was playing, I realized, wait, I'm stupid. What's his name? Talon, the guy that we just woke up with the chicken, he's going to be here, and he gives you a bottle already full of milk. So why don't I just go for that? So, here we go. Now, like I said, this is the point when I realized you need 10 rupees, and I only had 9. I was literally 1 rupee short. I even thought about grabbing the rupees on the way in, because I thought it costed 10, but I thought maybe the first time was free. I couldn't remember, so unfortunately, have to go back and get a few rupees. But fun little fact, while we're in here, you guys have probably already seen this, but if you look at Talon's little necklace he's wearing, it's actually in the shape of a Bowser from Mario. And speaking of Mario, he himself also kind of looks somewhat similar to Mario. So anyways, like I said, we have to go back here, just get a few rupees. I got more than I needed really, but I don't know why, I just figured I would. So anyways, here we go. We're about to do the last thing. This is going to get us our bottle of milk. This is what we've been waiting for. So simply all we have to do is find these 3 chickens that he releases, and then he will give us his bottle full of milk. So there's 2. And there's number 3. So we did it. Get ready for time in a few moments here. We are about to be getting ourselves our bottle. As you can see, here he's going to give it to us. Alright, there's our milk. Get ready for time. We're about to go drink the milk. So here we go. First swig. It's not over yet. We still have half left. That's the great thing about milk in this game. You can drink it twice. And time. Alright, I was a little late on the time there, but you get the idea. So there we go. Thank you guys for watching this milk podcast. It wasn't so much a podcast this year, but thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you guys next year in the next milk podcast. See you later. Bye.